You're listening to Mark of the Maker. Hey everybody, I'm Mark Steiner and you're listening to Mark the Maker. This is episode 103 of the podcast, and this will be one of our topical episodes. These are always fun. We sure enjoy them, and we know some of you do as well, so we'll get to that in a minute. We've got a few folks we need to thank as we get started on this thing. Michael, you want to take it from here?
First off, we want to thank Patreon. It's a place where you can go, put a little money towards us and the podcast, and basically it helps ship the microphone to and fro and things like that. You can go to patreon.com, patreon.com, and search for Mark of the Maker. Those of you that have signed up already, it is so greatly appreciated. It's helped a ton with getting just the bull crap but business side of this, going. And we appreciate that.
We really do appreciate you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you kindly, folks.
Yep. Thank you, friends. It has helped, continues to helps every month, folks. Keep that stuff rolling for us. It's wonderful. We also need to say thanks to our friend George from American Metal Exchange. George is a purveyor of fine knife-making materials. Titanium, zirconium, damasteel, mokutai, zirctai, all kinds of crazy stuff. He's got it. How many patterns of damasteel do you think George has?
All of them.
Yeah.
Quite a few. He's got
Many.
round stock too.
Yeah, round stock too. He's had round stock of a couple different things, right? Over time, which is fun. So yeah, if you need fancy knife making materials or just plain old titanium, reach out to George. He can take care of you at amxinc.com, and that's American Metal Exchange. Thank you, George.
Yeah. Thanks, George.
Thanks, buddy.
And he's got a beautiful head of hair.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like Michael's and Tom's and mine.
Mm-hmm.
He's a handsome guy.
He's a handsome man. Sean has asserted that before, and I concur. What about you, Tom? What you got?
So I've got some exciting news for our friends at Giant Mouse, but I can't tell you.
Oh!
I've been sworn to secrecy, but I'm just going to say we got some fun stuff coming up.
Oh. Is this a teaser?
Maybe. I think that's what it is.
If I don't give out the secret, it's still a teaser, he said.
It's gonna be some fun for our Patreons. We really do appreciate you guys. Check out their line, man. They've got some really solid stuff. They've got stuff in stock on their website right now. The Ace, I don't know how you pronounce that, Atelier.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how do you say it, but that's a good looking knife.
An Atelier?
Yeah, something like that. Really, really nice looking knife. They've got a couple fixed blades that are really kind of calling my name right now. Their big GM F4 in red canvas looks really good, and it's a really good deal too. So check out their stuff. Give them a shout. Tell them you heard about them from us, even if you didn't.
Nice.
We don't mind if you stretch the truth a little in that case, is what you're trying to say.
And they'll be like, cool.
Yeah. I
Seriously, good guys.
That word is a workshop or studio used by an artist or designer.
There you go,
Tom. So if you go a lot of times it's like...
it'll tell you what it means.
No, I'm saying if you see that name, it's often like a fashion place or a boutique to get nice clothes, or sometimes like a hair studio kind of thing, a designer. And the Danes, those Danes.
They're designers.
Fancy designers. Makes sense, doesn't it?
If the shoe fits. Yeah.
Yes. Thanks, fellas. And see, now we're all excited. Looking forward to surprise. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Sean, you want to explain to the kids at home what exactly we're doing tonight?
Yes. The title of this episode is 3 More Knives You Should Know. And I took the ball on this one because I wanted to do another picks episode because I enjoy them so, and the guys indulged me. So we've each come up with 3 knives we think you should be aware of, and we're going to talk about them, and we're going to have a good time doing it.
Gosh
I thought
darn it.
we were going to be fancy and use a different language.
Oh,
No?
Tres cuchillos. This is
Oh,
tres
yeah.
cuchillos.
There you go.
Right.
I feel better already.
I can't remember what it was in Polish, but it sure sounded cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it did. A little menacing. It
Yeah.
was kind of mad at me.
Right. Okay. 3 more knives you should know about. I like it. We haven't done this in a long time.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's been a few years.
We've done variations on the theme over time, but it's been a few years. Yeah, it's been a while.
And you know
Fix
what? It's
episodes
always...
are always my favorite.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sean.
No, dude, words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, they're always a good time. And it seems like the listeners really like them. We get lots of very positive feedback about Picks episodes. They feel self-indulgent to me, but like people seem to enjoy them. So, okay, great. These are Google heavy episodes, or my friends, if you're in our Facebook group, look for us on Facebook, join the Facebook group. There's lots of conversation in there. And I think I'm patting ourselves on the back here. We've gotten a lot better about making sure we follow up and post our picks, haven't we?
Mhm.
So nice work, everyone.
Yeah,
Maybe.
no, I highly recommend it because I know that my picks, it's going to save you some legwork if you get into the Facebook group and just check out when I put up the visual companion for my picks for this episode.
We're not saying that Sean had to break into any locked facilities to find photos of these picks, but
I'll give credit where credit's due when I stole pictures. I mean,
you may reduce your risk of a felony if you just join the Facebook group and find the photos there. That's all. That's all we're saying.
Yeah, it's a lot of getting the books down,
Yeah.
books and magazines.
There you go. There you go. Well, Sean was the curator of these picks for us. Sometimes we send them to each other. Sometimes I would say most times we do. And Sean was the curator, and he has assured us we have a dazzling variety.
No
our list.
overlap.
Yeah, no, we're not one, right?
nope. Didn't have to ask anybody to repick. It was quite nice.
Nice.
Yeah, see, we run so hard from the center that we usually don't have an overlap, which is nice.
No, it was pretty varied. I mean, like I told you guys earlier, I'm looking forward to this.
All right. Well, I think you're up first, my man. What do you have for us?
All right, let me get my pictures loaded up here to share with you fellas.
Birch has got to start pedaling, get his Google machine in motion over there. Stoke the fire.
I'm going to be talking about the shoot knife.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
And for those of you who don't know what a shoot knife is, it is a kind of a clip point blade. Generally has a soldered on guard, although it can have an integral guard. And Bob Loveless popularized them. I think you could go as far as to say Bob Loveless invented what we think of as the modern shoot knife. At least in my research, that's kind of how it shakes out. And the pictures I'm uploading to send the guys right now are by a friend of the show, David Sharp, and his take on the shoot knife, which you know would be.
Yeah.
One is very Loveless proper, and then the others are mini shoots that he does that are just fucking stellar.
Yeah, those are super cool.
And what the shoot knife is you have a clip point blade, basically, with a full grind at the clip so that you can backstroke on the cut or use the back edge as your utility edge while saving the primary edge. And it's kind of a utility / survival / fighter is how it was originally thought of. When Loveless was originally designing it, he designed it for a fella by the name of Harry Archer, who did a lot of shadowy, spooky shit in Vietnam. And the reason they call it a shoot knife is one of the things it was really intended to do was be able to cut away parachute line in case you got entangled in your chute lines.
Love it.
Yeah, Loveless actually referred to Archer as the head of CIA operations in Vietnam on several occasions.
Wow.
And whether he was that or not, the dude was definitely a spooky cat. And, as Mark will find of interest, a real big fan of the Big Bear. Carried them into combat and owned several Loveless Big Bears.
Love it.
Wow.
Several Loveless Big Bears. Oh, that's me
Yeah.
swooning.
You wish.
So
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm glad you picked this, Sean, because the Loveless shoot knife has always been a favorite. It's
Yeah.
an iconic classic.
An iconic
Yeah, what's not to
classic
like,
is exactly it.
And like, I know that on the originals, the guard was supposed to be drilled through, so you had attachment points for lashing it to a post
Yeah,
or a
spear.
pole. Yeah, so you could make an improvised spear, and it had survival applications built into it.
Yeah, so cool.
But man, those sharp minis are just minimalist and fucking righteous.
Did you send
The
the link or pictures or whatever, Sean?
I think so.
I didn't get it. It doesn't.
I sent them to fucking Rachel.
That doesn't do us any good.
She's going to appreciate that.
She's gonna be sitting at work going, "What is going on with him?"
Dude, I had just sent her some nerdy Warhammer cosplay shit like an hour ago. And that was the chat window that was open. I was like, well, I've got the window open here to send to the guys. So she's got
feel
this
like we should
beautiful
see
David
that,
Sharp
too.
stuff here, too.
That's fantastic.
But here, give me just a shake, and I will correct the error of my ways.
I feel like we should see the Warhammer stuff too.
Oh, dude, I will. It's this chick doing cosplay, and she built an Adeptus Sororitas battle armor.
Wow.
That, holy shit, is
I may have seen that actually.
here. I'm going to send
Oh,
that, too.
yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah, that sharp is damn good looking.
Yeah, so cool, man. David's doing such super mega clean work.
The little ones are really cool.
The little ones are super cool.
Yeah, I would love to have one of those.
It's a really nice adaptation or evolution of the pattern, right?
Agree.
Like you look at it and you know it's a shoot knife, right? Even though there isn't really a guard, right? There's just the little integral,
I think that's why I
funky
like it so much.
Yeah. Tom's all about it like a utilitarian piece, right? So it's perfect. It's a perfect Tom knife.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the rear end, the butt is totally loveless.
Yep.
100%.
The steel guards give it the line of the loveless guard, but it's got that handle that will work. I really like the shape of that front of that handle because if you're using Kydex or leather, it's like a wedge that helps it go into the sheath.
Yep.
Dude, and you've got a natural retention point.
Yep.
Yep. Excellent work.
And of course, his grinds are just exquisite. The way the back edge transitions into the primary is butter.
Gotta like
Yep.
it. Well played.
David Sharp is the man. Yeah, I like those little guys. Those are really, really cool. I really want one of his big shoots, though.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, well, the one I sent the picture of, the, classic, this is what you think of when you think of a shoot knife is, dude, it's everything a shoot knife should be and then some.
Yes. Yeah. What do you think that one is? You think it's like dyed maple? It's got curl to it like maple, but it's black. I don't think it's koa. It's too dark.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. I was figuring it was some kind of dyed stabilized wood is what I was
Which
thinking.
one?
The first one, like the traditional shoot style.
Oh,
Yeah, soldered guard and all.
it looks like koa.
Yeah, man, it's dark.
See how it's got the lines on the back though?
Yeah, but you can get maple. I mean, maple does that. You can get there's curly mahogany like that. There's all kinds of stuff. But see, I don't know. I bet David knows. David would be like, you know what? I drank 4 cups of coffee when I was making that knife. He's that kind of dude. He's got that shit all upstairs. Excellent pick, Sean.
Oh, thank you.
The Warhammer thing is cool too.
Yeah, I didn't even click on that link yet. I have to, right? Let's
Go
see.
through the full pick suite. I mean, she just fucking
geez.
killed it. Jeez.
She sure did. Yeah, that's pretty serious. All the way down to the killer makeup and everything, where it looks like her face is like cracked open.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that specific chapter of the Sisters of Battle, they like some scars on their faces because it makes them closer to their saint, who basically had her face just shredded before she became a saint.
Yeah.
So having a few facial scars, it makes them closer to the woman who's their inspiration.
I'm kind of irritated at Audible. I don't know if I've told you this, Sean.
No.
What they do?
They don't have books 11 through 13 or something like that.
What?
So I'm stalled out at 10.
Dude, give it time. Those just came out like 2 or 3 years ago.
They've got
So
like 4 or 5 after that. They just don't have like 2 or 3 right in
What?
the middle.
Really?
Yeah, so it really pissed me off.
Okay, so books, you said 10 through...
I think it's 11 and 12 maybe that they don't have.
Oh, dude, that's such a pisser.
Yeah, especially when you told me book 11 is the best in the series.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Book 11 is generally considered to be his strongest effort.
Yeah.
And that's the one that wraps up that whole 4-book story arc. So that's a real fucking turd in the punch bowl.
Oh, they're not going to, advertise with us now.
Yeah, that's a
Probably
real
not.
kick in the balls. Tom, what book are you on? Oh, it stopped at 10. Oh my God, you should see what's in 11.
That's pretty much how it went down.
That's it. I wish we were joking.
That's 100% how it went down.
That's hilarious.
Oh, well.
Tom, that's all just a warm up for book 11. Books 1 through 10. They are just the little appetizer for book 11.
All good.
Actually, books 8 through 10 are the books that set up for book 11. No shit.
And you just about can't buy the books. Like I looked for them and I found like a well-used paperback one for like $80. So I
Yeah.
was like,
Wow.
meh.
Yeah, I got the omnibus of that story arc and I paid $94 for it.
Yikes.
Damn.
So anyways,
There you go. Tangent number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Warhammer cosplay turned Audible disc turned expensive paperbacks.
5 minutes of knife talk,
On earth happened?
15 of Warhammer and Audible.
what's next?
You know what? It wouldn't be an episode of Mark of the Maker any other way, fellas.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent pick, Sean. Love the shoot knife. Great choice.
Hell
Yeah, I mean, it's got history
Yeah.
and it's just a gorgeous functional knife.
And it's like basic building block piece that I actually don't know that we've spent a lot of time talking about. Maybe in the Loveless episode, David, but I don't think we hit on shoot knife much elsewhere. Right? Such an iconic piece.
Yep.
Okay. I think I'm up second.
I believe you are next, sir.
Okay.
You are.
So I split my 3 into categories. That's what we call extra credit, Tom. So I did
Extra credits for losers.
I did a modern, a vintage, and a shout out. Those are my three categories that I picked for.
Okay.
So this one is my modern pick. This should be coming through you so you guys can see it. This is very fresh. And this is from David Lish, who we've talked about on the show before. David is a fantastic, award-winning knife maker, makes some amazing Damascus. He actually has some fun fishing videos on his Instagram because he loves to fish. So he's always out there in the stream doing his thing. You can find him on Instagram. We've talked about him before. I'm sure most of our listeners are familiar. But if not, at David Lish, DavidLisch. And David's stuff is absolutely outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
I know I've talked about a David Lish pick before, and if you scroll down the page a ways, you can see one of them that I talked about where it has the tail, the butt end of the knife comes out and wraps around into like a finger guard. So it's almost like a D guard, but it's forged out of the piece that comes out of the tail end of the knife. And so David's done a bunch of really fabulous work. This one that I picked is a very recent piece from a very short time ago that is a veggie cleaver, and he's been playing around with these hanging knives. So knives that hang on like a hook on the wall, so he'll forge a little hook or sometimes a very fancy hook. He did some smaller knives that are pretty cool that have like a leaf with a stem, and then the base of the stem comes out in like a claw hammer shape, and it holds a ball that's forged into the tail end of the knife. And this one has an eye on the end, and there's a hook that he forged. So it hangs from the hook on the wall, and it's a veggie cleaver. But it looks like a really, really nice size.
Yeah.
Like small, right? Not a big giant cleaver, like a very useful size cleaver.
Yeah, well, I mean,
it
it's a
looks pretty
veggie
awesome.
cleaver. You're not splitting a carcass.
Right. So, and This should be Tom Crine approved because it has very clear flutes down the sides of the forged handle for indexing properly.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I actually follow David,
yeah,
and I saw that knife maybe a night or two ago while on vacation, while I was just killing some time. I was like, it's beautiful. The Damascus is beautiful. It's just, the execution is awesome.
Man, the way he worked the flow of that Damascus from
Yes.
the handle to flow down and then forward, just, oh my gosh.
yeah,
Yeah, it's really good.
exactly. So it's like it's a big feather pattern. It's not a super fine feather pattern, but boy, is it cool. And it has a very,
Like water falls out of the handle.
yeah, like it's got a
Yeah.
flourish as it comes out of the integral handle out into the blade. So this thing doesn't have scales added. This is like a Damascus integral handle with the eye on the end. That's all part of the same piece of steel, all drawn out. And then
It's like a
into the-
sculpture.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It does look like liquid metal. And in my head, I can just imagine it on a board with like 2 or 3 different versions, a little paring knife version, and how cool that would look.
Oh, yeah. I hadn't even thought about that, but oof. Yeah. Yeah, like a 3-4 piece set.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just hanging.
Yeah.
So fun piece. David makes beautiful work. Definitely check out his stuff if you're not already following it. Totally worth a follow.
You should be following him.
Yeah. No shit.
It's one of the, if you're not following him, why?
Yeah, and he's always got lots of pictures from the forge. He always often talks about stuff that he's working on. He does a lot of teaching, and he's actually goes to learn stuff from other people as well. And so he's very open about all that stuff and talks about it. It's really fun. I think it's beautiful knives, and also I often learn something from watching his Instagram feed. So that's fun.
He's been doing this for quite a bit.
Yeah.
He is badass.
He is a badass. There is no doubt about that. So there you go. David Lish cleaver. Love it. He's got another cleaver that's got handles on it that it's a big old boy that's pretty sweet, but I love the integral little one with the eye on the end. Like you said, on a cutting board or hanging in a nice little row in your kitchen, a whole set of this kind of stuff would be outstanding.
Nice pick.
Thank you.
It was all right.
Thank you as well.
Let's see what awesomeness you have.
Yeah. What about you, Michael? You're up next.
Well,
Well,
I didn't have all these weird little, bonus stuff. I went with a lot of vintage. So I had to go with the classical Kit Carson Model 4.
oh,
I picked a lot of stuff that I think helped propel, the custom knife industry. And I think this was a model that 100% helped propel it. We saw that look throughout, for quite a while. The shape, how it was made. There's so many things he changed with knife making and added to it that it's I don't know, it's just important. This knife is important. And I've always loved the look of it, and where he went with these, and then with CRKT, and how that, really kind of hit it running with those. The M16, M18, all those.
Before T, I believe he did that with Outdoor Edge.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've got one of those somewhere.
That'd be cool.
They were pretty neat.
Yeah, it's just a classical look. And the one that I sent you guys is a Stellite, of course. Pretty quote-unquote
course.
plain,
Right.
tie bolsters. I don't know, tip down, which was, of course, the how they were for quite a bit. But man,
iconic piece for sure.
hell yeah, man. It's weird how much we change and how much, we think how stuff's supposed to be. And a lot of these were running on Teflon washers and are probably still running just fine.
Oh, yeah. You know it.
There's
And-
nothing
and-
wrong with those.
And super smooth.
Mm-hmm. Teflon, Nylotron, all that stuff was good stuff. But we're like, no, we can't have that.
No, very nice pick. Classic, old school, like OG tactical knife kind of custom stuff, right? Really cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I definitely got a trend going here.
I'm
definitely
pretty
am.
sure CRKT's still selling a ton of Carson designs,
Yeah.
Oh, you know it.
even to this day.
Very much. I was looking.
And into the future.
Yeah. That was, I mean, shit. The M16, M18, those were a lot of people's first.
M21, the
M21.
18
Yeah.
was like the spear point one.
Yep. A lot of people's first knives.
Oh, yeah. I carried one of those M18s with the blue G10 inlays for a long time.
Mm-hmm. I still got one around here somewhere.
Me too.
And I mean, Kit was a very prolific guy, right? Made lots of knives, but
Mm-hmm.
he's also, I think, one of those underappreciated guys, right?
Yeah.
As far as modern collectors go. Like there's 3 of them currently available, right? Original Kit Carson customs
Yeah.
for under $800, a couple of them.
Yep.
So very affordable by modern knife collector standards, and just awesome kind of cornerstone pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you look through like some of the Knives annual books or any of the old, he's done about all of it. You know, that it wasn't just like he hit here and that's where he's stuck. He did the Loveless style stuff. He did the fancy dagger stuff. He did a
You remember
lot
the
of
UDT fixed blade he made?
Oh, yeah.
It had like a pry bar tip on it.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
super
Buck
cool.
did a version of that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And his cross lock, they did that too.
I'm looking at the crosslock right now, actually.
Me too. The small Model 4
Mm-hmm.
on Arizona.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
available.
Yeah, it's he's done some wild stuff. So yeah, that's how I landed on that one. It's I want stuff that moved us to where we are now, and that's kind of where my picks were or are.
Well, here, let's go ahead and let's talk about this crosslock for a second.
What do you
Because
want?
that is, you guys who don't know about this is like a 2-bladed liner lock folder.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
What?
extraordinarily cool.
Didn't Buck make a version for a while?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Still
theirs didn't come out the same end. One came out one end of the knife, one came out the other end.
No. It was opposite
both out
side,
the same end?
end. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right. Then I'm thinking of a different knife, but yeah, Buck did. I know they did.
And they did like you could get a hunting version with like a wedge on the end and a gut hook on the opposite blade.
Mhm.
I love those. So yeah.
Yeah, it's still being sold.
Sean, you want to take a swing at explaining the crosslock thing?
Man, okay, so you've got a blade on one side, a liner in the center, and then a blade on the other side. And you have 2 lock bars cut into that liner in the center, and each one is bent in opposite directions to engage one of the blades. So you have 2 liner locking blades in that knife.
Yeah. Kind of smashed together.
Yeah.
They're really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that almost became a pick instead of just the classic 4.
Yeah.
I'm saying that it's a pick now. This is your bonus pick because it deserves it.
The bonus
Yeah, it's really
bonus
cool.
pick.
Bonus
Bonus,
pick.
bonus.
Nice,
I
nice.
may have to call Andrew.
Yeah. That's a super cool piece, man.
Yeah. I like it.
Excellent choice, Michael. I like your theme too.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks.
I find it agreeable.
All right.
Good job.
What about you, Tom? You're last up, and then if there's any backups, we can get into those.
Yeah, let me send a pic. Let's see. So I kind of tried to take a different route here, right? So I figured that you guys would mostly pick customs. And I went a different direction. I went with knives that I feel like changed the industry. And for this one, I went with the Swiss Army knife 1961 military or soldier, which was the official knife for the Swiss Army. And I've really always liked these knives, and I feel like the Swiss Army knives, they're like the knife ambassador to the world, right?
Yeah.
If you don't want a scary knife, you have a Swiss Army knife, right? Nobody seems to be afraid of that. And the multi-blade knives are really cool to me. And especially the Alox Swiss Army knives. And I don't know, I've got a bunch of them. I like all of the Alox knives. I don't really buy that many Swiss Army knives other than the Alox ones. And I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
Think about the Alox knives?
Yeah, the Alox collection that they do.
No, they're awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
to me, they're my favorite. They're more rigid and they're just, I don't know. I love the patina they get when they wear.
Yeah.
If you get one with like a color. Growing up, my dad always carried a Buck Stockman, the medium size. That's like what he always carried. And after about a year, at least one of the blades was broken off, and usually more than one. And I started getting him some of the Alox, the Pioneers, and he loved those. He would use the awl to scrape stuff, and it had screwdrivers, so he wasn't breaking tips off. And about every year I'd get him a new one. And I do that with my brothers now. I get them one every year or two. And they even started making one with the scissors. The Pioneer X has scissors instead of the saw, and then they've got it has a saw and scissors. You can get it either way, but yeah, they're really cool. The little classics are super tiny. Whenever I do a 14er, that's the knife that goes in my pack, and I carry a different one every time. So if I summit, I actually laser the name of the mountain on the blade. So I've got a few of those.
Not to brag.
Well, I haven't summited every time, but yeah, if I do summit, I put the name on there. We're thinking about doing another one this year, but we'll see if I go or not. I got a lot of stuff coming up.
It's no big deal, Sean. They just cover the one wall of the office with all the mountains he summited.
It's only, it's 14.
you laser like almost summited.
No. Yeah, no. We don't talk about that too much.
Whoa, hey.
Get one of those 13.1s.
But yeah, if you get a chance, check out the Alox Swiss Army knives, and especially the Soldier. But they've got everything from little single blades to the Hunter models are really cool. So yeah, check them out.
I mean, the folks listening to this, even if they don't know the Soldier model by name, they have seen this knife. Guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
Alox is the checkered aluminum scales.
Yeah. I like all Swiss Army. I don't care if it's the plastic or the Alox. They all were welcome in my pocket.
Agreed. I carried, the bigger one that's not like oval, what are they, the 105s, I think.
Yeah.
I carried the Hercules for a while, and the pliers in those are awesome in the knife shop because they are the best splinter pickers you'll find.
But,
Really?
I think I've said it before. I'm a super tinker man.
Yeah.
Super Tinker Man, yep. I think that custom Swiss Army knife that I had done, I think that started out as a Pioneer. Because I think he called it the kind of the custom version that he built me. I think he calls it a Pioneer Sleuth because it's got the magnifying glass in it.
You've seen the one I've got, right? The Sackology one where he takes the main blade out and puts a Spyderco blade in.
Yeah. Yep.
Those are super cool. Sackology 101. I love Swiss Army knives, and I just, it's kind of, the history's cool, and yeah, that's my choice.
It wouldn't be a Mark of the Maker Picks episode without a Swiss Army knife somewhere in there. We always have them, and for good reason.
Because they're awesome.
Yeah. That Hercules looks too thick for me, man.
No, it's big, but I carried it on in a belt sheath.
Oh, a nylon belt pouch like the matching accessory on the page?
Damn.
Negative. I had a
Full
leather
dad
one
mode.
made. Do what?
Full dad mode on that one.
Well, there's no clip on them, and like Mark said, it won't fit in your pocket. But yeah, I had a leather belt sheath made for it.
Did you carry it like on the opposite side from your cross-draw BlackBerry?
Oh.
I didn't have BlackBerry. I had actually at the same time, I had one of the flip phones, the razors. I had a leather razor,
Ooh.
a leather holder for the razor, and my Swiss Army knife.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
That was really cool.
Leave some for the rest of us, pal.
Ladies and gents are like, damn.
I've always been very fashion conscious. I don't know if you guys know this. I don't care if it works as long as it looks good.
That's right.
Yeah.
Did I mention they were gator leather?
People know this about me.
People definitely know this about you.
Right.
Yeah. There's one thing they know about you. It's that you're highly fashion conscious.
I wear my shirt untucked anyways. Nobody's going to see it.
Right.
I got a gun on the other side, so.
So they don't like it. I'll show them what's good for them.
No, I mean, you can't see the gun. You can't see the awesome accessories I have. I don't want too much, coveting going on.
Yeah, right.
Lust, all this,
Yeah, that's unhealthy.
Right.
Okay. Okay, we got backups for round one. Yeah, I know you do. Don't hide them over there.
That was it for me.
All right. I know it sounded like you had a
Well,
backup.
the backups will come like 4 or 5 if we have them. And then Sean's like, I'm not using any backups anymore. So it's my job to use his.
Yeah, backups are a sucker's bet.
Yeah.
You're gonna
I'm not
regret
gonna
that
put.
shit
I'm not gonna
later,
waste
though.
a backup on this one. You know what? I'll use one backup.
I like to think I burnt one of Michael's backups with the cross lock.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give a shout out to the One Arm Bandit thumb stud holder. We've
Oh, yeah.
talked about
For
it
the Bucks?
for the Bucks. You could use them on anything.
I was going to say,
I had
basically,
like the
whatever blade you
custom
set screw
holster.
it on, right?
Yeah, it was the custom holster of the 80s.
Explain what it is for kids that have never seen one.
It is a screw-on piece. So, and I came across one. Someone had it on one of the SOGs folding knives. So it screwed onto the spine. So for the
Looked like a
lockbacks,
C.
you could one hand open that puppy. And there's a few people that did them. I think Jimmy Lyle added something called an easy open button
Yeah.
on some stuff. So it was quite popular back in the day.
Dude, the
It kind of
SOG Tomcat was such a cool knife.
big ass knife.
Yeah.
I carried one in Thailand for a while.
Did it have a One Arm Bandit on it?
No, I wasn't that cool.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that was a super cool folder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's in that picture, right?
Mhm.
Was it a tomcat in the picture? Yeah.
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 Just sexy grinds, man.
That's what all the
Yeah.
ladies called Tom when he had his dual leather.
Tomcat.
Ooh.
Yeah. Remember they had the dagger one, the Diamondback or something?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, those SOG knives were awesome.
Man, what's that
Yeah,
rubbery
yeah.
stuff called? Is that Creighton?
Creighton.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think people take it now.
Gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gas station dope. Nice.
Mhm.
Gonna get some Creighton and some boner peels. Fuck yeah.
That's right.
Some Monster and some
You
Creighton.
got a big night ahead.
You may have to have a mullet to carry that knife.
Man, gas stations have just become like meccas of legal vice.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
God
Get
bless the
some
USA.
Horny goat out of the thing in the bathroom.
Horny goat weed pills and some fucking studded rubbers
Right. They're ribbed for her pleasure, Sean.
and a stack of French ticklers. When's the last time you heard one of those mentioned?
Always keeping it classy on Mark of the Maker.
Indeed.
That's what the people come for, literally, right?
You young folks, you go Google French tickler.
Or don't.
That's in your browser history.
Or don't.
Do-
or don't.
do not.
Be careful.
Do not.
All right. Well, I had this other backup. That was actually debated back and forth on whether this David Lish cleaver, this integral cleaver, or this other piece that's actually just like you probably saw it on his Instagram because I know you guys follow him, but it's the lead photo on his website, this Templar's dagger that he made. And what a cool piece that is. Spiral handle with like the rope inlay. His own Damascus, obviously, I think. And super cool patinaed guard and butt cap. What a cool piece that is.
Yeah. I nerd out about Templar stuff anyway, so that's really cool.
Yeah. Gorgeous piece. He had Coop take some nice pictures of it too, so it's on his Instagram not too far back. And he made a really neat stand. Do you see the stand that he made for it?
Mm-mm.
If you go to the second
Scroll
photo of his
down.
Instagram, there's a picture of it.
That's cool as hell.
Isn't it? It's got the cross
that's-
and then sort of almost like a V channel stand. So it showcases the blade. That's so cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
I went to the wrong one. I scrolled down on the web page and it was
Yes,
another
same.
dagger, but it
I like
Jesus.
the butt cap on that also is like got the little cross.
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. Super fun.
Nice.
All right. No other backups in round one?
Nope. I don't have categories, so
Well, Michael, you said you're holding. You gonna spill or you gonna hold? Which is it?
Hey, I gave up my one-arm bandit.
Oh,
I'm
that's
saving
right.
my next backup
That's
for another
All right.
one.
that's fair.
Okay. That's one from everybody. Sean, I think that puts you back up.
Back up. All right. And my next one is the Gerber TAC 2,
Ooh.
as designed by Blackie Lawless. And the reason I mentioned it is the knife that Jack Burton carries in Big Trouble in Little China.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Most specifically, he carries a first production run TAC 2. You can tell because of the number of serrations.
Ooh. That's a
Did you-
fun fact.
The first production run had 11 teeth. All the other runs after that, I believe, had either 13 or 14.
Wow.
Did not know that.
Look at you.
I went down the rabbit hole on that one. Shade and I have been
2,
watching movies every night this summer,
6.
and we did Big Trouble last week.
Nice.
And I was like, I'm going to find out what that knife is. And little did I know
Little did
the
you
community
know.
that exists around that movie.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, big time.
Wow.
And deservedly so, man. It is just such a fun movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I've got mine in my hand right
I
now.
was going to say, look at Tom here with one right in his hand.
The sheath is just as cool as a knife, man.
Yeah, if not cooler.
Blackie Collins did a good job.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell it's a Blackie design because of how the sheath integrates everything together.
Mine isn't a first production run, apparently, though.
I heard you counting.
Yeah.
I got 14.
You ran out of fingers.
Mm-hmm.
I had to use my foot.
Yeah, all the first production
sucks.
runs are marked first production run on the blade also.
Ah.
Here's it snapping into the sheath.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
No joke.
That's how I thought it would sound.
Yep. Very
Pretty cool.
nice.
Yeah, and for you folks at home, I mean, this looks like, a classic Gerber dagger, serrated on both edges. The tang goes all the way through and comes out the rear end of the Zytel handle for how much sticks out there, Tom? About a ½ inch, 3/4 of an inch?
Probably 3/8.
3/8 of an inch sticks out of the Zytel handle and has a hole in it to make a lanyard loop or a lanyard hole.
So you can punch people in the skull.
Yep, a skull cracker.
try to catch it between your hands.
And then the cool thing about the sheath is the sheath has a spring-loaded peg that sticks up, and on each side of the guard of the knife, there's a hole in the guard that when you sheath it, that spring-loaded peg comes up into the hole and knocks.
Yeah, so it can be jump rated or whatever.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, that's an awesome pick. I love those.
Another classic throwback piece.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't recommend the movie enough. It is just so much fun.
It's such
Hell
a good
yeah.
movie. That's
It is. Yeah, it's a real gem.
hardcore classic.
It's just super imaginative, super creative, and fun. It's a fun summer movie.
Agree.
A fun summer movie. I like it.
Do you think if we hadn't seen it and then we watched it now, how it would look?
Dude, I literally saw it for the first time last week.
Really?
No shit.
Yeah, I had never seen it.
For real?
Oh, damn.
And I fucking clowned over it. I loved that movie.
Dude, it's awesome.
Interesting.
Yeah, shit, yeah, it is.
Ben hates watching old movies that I like. He's like, this sucks.
Wow.
Oh, dude, we've been having a great time of it. Let's see. Last week we actually did a little John Carpenter, Kurt Russell theme, and we watched The Thing and
Mm-hmm.
Escape from New York and Big
That's
Trouble
great.
in Little China.
Oh, nice.
Very nice choices there.
Yeah, solid film festival.
And we're actually doing westerns this week. We're going to watch Tombstone tonight.
Ooh.
That's such a good movie too.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we started the week with Outlaw Josie Wells.
I love when he spits on the dog.
Yeah.
It's messed up. I love dogs. I'd never spit on a dog, but that's like iconic in that movie. It's just like,
Outlaw Josie Wales is a true classic.
yeah.
And you know what? I'm going to say it. Escape from LA, meh. But the soundtrack, yeah.
Dude,
It was
I'd like to see
solid.
Escape from L.A., especially going in knowing, because I haven't seen it yet. Go in knowing what I know and just have fun with it. And don't expect it to be the game changer that Escape from New York was, but look at it as kind of a fun, popcorny sort of, not taking itself too seriously movie.
Oh, it doesn't. It's fun. And read about the basketball scene and after you watch it. You'll be like,
Yeah,
oh,
didn't
damn.
he legit hit that shot?
Yep. He practiced and practiced and practiced.
I don't think I've seen it.
Oh, fantastic soundtrack.
I've got homework.
Yeah. We did a Connery Bond film festival a while back. That was fun.
Very nice.
Watch them all in order.
What the fuck is a Smurf?
I think we're supposed to have a Raiders of the Lost Ark film fest.
Because the new movie's
and-
coming out.
Yeah, and then we're going to go see the new one.
Yeah. That's a good call. Yeah, that'll be a darn good time. You know what else we did? Because we had this Godzilla pinball machine. We went back and watched like the first 8 Godzilla movies.
There's 8.
There's way more than 8.
Way more than that.
Yeah.
What?
There's a truckload of Godzilla movies. The old ones, the Japanese movies from Once Upon a Time. Yeah. I have 17 in the catalog, and that only goes up to 1975.
So I think in like the mid 80s, there was a 3D version maybe. I remember watching that as a kid with the cool glasses at home.
We're old.
That's why we have so much wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
I tell myself that, but sometimes I
Right?
just don't know.
Right. Yeah, see, I was never a fan of the later Godzilla movies because I watched all these other ones when I was a kid. They would be on like, Sunday at 1 p.m. or whatever, right? Like
Yeah.
weekend.
Mothra.
Exactly. Yeah. And they would run these over and over again, and I never really had any appreciation for the order of them. I just remember watching many of them as a kid. And so, yeah, we went back and watched them all the way up through Terror of Mechagodzilla.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're really, really cool. And it's cool because Godzilla goes from being like a bad guy to being an ally of Japan kind of thing, fighting against other monsters. So just like a whole crazy story arc of its own. And you want to talk about a rabbit hole of fandom.
Yeah.
Godzilla is a little bonkers for some of that. Excellent second pick, Sean. Solid.
Thank you.
Solid tangent number 2.
Yes. Yes, for sure. Okay. Michael will have deep appreciation for my second pick in the vintage category. I better, he says. He's going to ooh and ah.
Oh, damn.
So this is our friend Daniel Favano, who has
Mhm.
absolutely mind-exploding collection. And he posted this recently, a couple months ago. And this is a Kamal. So this is a Don Fogg, Murad Sayan collab piece that they did together under this Kamal name. Is it Kamal or Kemal? I assume it's Kamal.
I think it's Kamal.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the way I've always heard it.
Same.
And this is what, Tom, what would you describe this shape as? This
That's
is
a Viking-esque dagger.
Viking-esque. Okay. I was going to say, we've talked about this style before.
It's got the fist pommel,
Yeah.
Yeah.
very Viking feel to me.
Oh, 100%.
And it looks like maybe black wood that's carved to look like it's cord wrapped.
That's what it looks like.
Beautiful.
They did like
piece.
the blackwood.
Yep. It very much looks like cord wrap.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic. So this is, I think the way this worked, right, was Don Fog blade, and then Cyan did the handles for these. It's generally how that collab
Yeah.
went.
I think so.
So,
You know it's good when Michael Walker posts Iconic
yes.
and Wolfgang Lorchner is posting. It's so rare to see their work posted as special. You know, these are like Jason Knight's posting The Legend. It's like a who's who of who's awesome in knife making is like bowing at the altar. It's like crazy.
Yeah. Harvey Dean comments about it.
Yeah. It's
I
like,
mean-
scroll down. It's like everybody in the industry that like the top 20 is in there.
Yeah. It's
Feels
a
like.
who's who of legendary makers all nerding out on how cool this piece is. So, yeah, I was poking around and came across this thing, and it was like, holy moly. But yeah, such
The
a fantastic
movement
piece.
in that Damascus blade is awesome.
It's fucking amazing.
Yeah. So let me run it down. So Tom, like Tom said, sort of a Viking dagger. There's another style, Sean, from Ethnic Knives. Do you remember? This is reminiscent to me of one of the styles that we talked about that has this sort of round butt cap shape. It's almost like a teardrop shaped handle. There's an ethnic style that this reminds me of. I just can't think of the name of it. But so
And it's definitely Norse, especially with the way the pommel is executed.
yeah,
But it would be Norse on a big swordy thing,
Right.
not something in
Right.
this size range.
yeah,
That's
So
what's
it's kind of like a cultural mashup a little bit.
yeah,
yeah, because their small knives would be like the 6,
Yeah.
yeah.
but it's cool. I could see
Oh,
this
dude.
being the mate to a sword.
Right.
Yeah, easily.
Yep. Yeah. So Don Fog Damascus, which is, like Tom said, absolutely amazing. This handle that is not cord wrapped, but is carved to look very convincingly like a cord wrap. And then almost like the same kind of cord wrap or braid carving in the both the guard and the pommel.
Yeah.
And then gold beading and little polished, what look like spacers, but I got a feeling they're integral.
It's all one piece.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. The spacer behind the guard might be a separate piece,
Yeah.
I would guess.
Yeah. Hard to describe this one, but I'll share the link. Dan does a really nice job of showcasing these knives. He has great videos of he's doing it in Lightbox. He's got lots of close up stuff of some of these pieces, and you know, he's got a massive variety of stuff in this collection, but I love that he bounces around big time within the collection, right? So it's not always just this certain style of piece. He moves all over the place, and it's really, really fun to follow. So his Instagram, for those not familiar, Daniel Favano, IQ Knives is his Instagram. IQ Knives.
100% must follow on
Yes.
that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, you can't miss. There's some crazy stuff on there. Tom sent me one the other day that I somehow hadn't seen. That is an 8-inch revolver. Did you guys see that?
Fuck.
Is it the one you and I talked about, Tom?
I sent it to all three of you guys. It reminds me of an early, like an 1800-ish Tiffany revolver.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every
Yeah,
part
but
of
on
that.
speed. I mean,
And the grips are crazy too.
Yes.
It's like a naked mermaid or something that goes from side to side. Probably not going to be the most comfortable gun to shoot.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's outstanding work. I mean, it's just absolutely stunning. And that engraving, it's like a paisley sort of a pattern
So
that literally covers every inch of the gun.
I think that's a Korth because of the way the cylinder releases. So it's a crazy expensive gun to start with.
I think he confirmed that in the comments. Someone asked that question if it was a Korth. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, I I didn't see if he said or not, but that would be my
Yeah, he
My
confirmed
guess.
it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right here.
Such a crazy piece.
That's the only one that I know has the safety release or the cylinder latch release on the offside.
Yeah, like you said, Sean, it's just such a crazy looking piece, right? With it has those what look like exhaust pipe type things coming out the top of the gun
Yeah.
with the gems in there, and then the crazy carving that makes up the handle. It's just like I don't know, it's like a dizzying piece to look at. Like, what the heck is going on with this gun?
Just the A-frame that runs the total length of the top of the gun.
The rib.
Right.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that it reminds me of a Tiffany a lot.
Yeah.
And then some. I mean, I totally get where you're coming from, especially in the grip area.
But of course, yeah, way over the top. But yeah, follow his page. If you look on there, there's a lot of knives we've talked about in the past.
That's true.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just an amazing scroll.
Yeah. Some specific pieces that we've talked about and just makers that we've talked about on different stuff, right? He's got Moran stuff in here and Herman Schneider and Jürgen Steinau. And I mean, it's like I said, it's a dizzying collection to check out. So, and he's doing a great job of sharing all that stuff. So thank you, Dan, for showing all those awesome pieces.
Yes.
All right, Michael, what's your second round pick?
Well, we had talked about this fellow a couple times, but I wanted to get a little more specific, so I went with the Tom Anderson Mohawk knife. And I'm getting ready to send that. This one, it kind of epitomizes that era for me. There's quite a few guys that were doing these types of knives, kind of I don't know, some funky milling and some, the early stages of like just your frame lock stuff. And I don't know, you see some stuff like almost now that people are like, oh, look what is new. And I'm like, no, this stuff's been done.
Yeah.
A lot of this cool stuff that we think is, new has been done by a lot of guys back then.
Yep.
And this is just a cool example of one of his folders. He was very good at like little detail work, the anodizing, the, I don't know, just adding stuff to it that didn't necessarily need to be added, which I greatly enjoy.
It kind of reminded me I agree, that's a great choice, but it's like that same era as like Atwood and some of the early Crawford folders.
Yeah, Crawford, Elijah,
yeah.
which
Yep.
there was a lot of like that kind of, tip down, real sharp clip point. I don't know what you kind of want to call it.
Like a Texas clip.
Yeah, but it, I don't know. To me, it just kind of signifies that era, that early, late 90s, early 2000s type of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That we were just like looking at going, holy shit, that's some fucking cool stuff.
Right.
Well, dude, I mean, Tom's an amazing machinist, first and foremost.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, just next level.
Mm-hmm. And interesting enough, you actually can, he's still got website stuff up.
Yeah.
And he's got a tutorial on how to make that folder itself, and that kind of sold me on picking that one.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's cool.
And of course, I'm not saying someone should make this folder, but this should be a good guide on, how to make liner locks in general or frame lock stuff.
Yeah.
Please don't make someone else's folder. But it's a good tutorial that's still hanging out there on the internet.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's really cool. Michael just sent the link to that. Step by step.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's real cool. Very nice. Tom Anderson folder. More
Yeah.
Wayback Machine. I love that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's that era for me.
Yeah.
Special milling on the pivots, and it looks like he took, added a little extra detail to the thumb studs, and, it's your blasted titanium frame lock that, I don't know, people may take for granted these days, but was sure as shit cool as hell back in those days, still is.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny because when I pulled this link up that you sent initially, it to me it looked like maybe because of the size of the pivot or whatever, right? I'm thinking, oh, this is like a 3-inch knife, maybe a little over, but it's not. It's got a 4-inch blade, 9.5 overall, so it's a decent sized knife.
Yeah, that's got to be a monster pivot head.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think modern Tom Anderson, that much real estate on the pivot, he would have had like a 3-dimensional relief of a cityscape machined into it or something.
Fit another knife in that
Exactly. Yeah, his stuff is so intricate. Beautiful.
Yeah, good throwback right there.
Yep.
I love the work in progress, that he put up, because it's like that is from that era too, it feels like. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was so, like, we all did stuff like this on USN and stuff, and it's all gone now.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of time going out with your real camera, going in, uploading your photos.
Uploading shit was a pain in the ass.
Cropping them and all that shit and be like, all right. But, I mean, that was part of the fun. I enjoyed it. I still enjoy just putting photos up of stuff I'm working on. Because, I don't know, I made it. These are the steps.
Yeah, it validates the process.
Yeah. I think people like to see it. I don't know.
I think I'm sure they do, because I post stuff and I may want them to look at this, but they blow it up and look at everything on the bench. And it's like, why haven't you made this? Or nice tools or whatever, It's kind of cool.
But at the same time, I also posted up some backspacers that I'm going to grind some little chamfers in. And my dad says, like I understand, ? So,
I love
always
what your
wins.
dad brings to your group from time to time, to be
Oh,
honest.
Sometimes. Love you, Dad, but whew.
No, I genuinely enjoy it. I believe it keeps us all grounded
Oh, definitely.
about our where we fit into the grand scheme of this thing,
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, definitely a knife everyone should know about, and a knife maker.
He's also super
And
into
don't
air
just check out his knives. Check out some of his machine titanium products.
Hell yeah.
You will not be disappointed.
Just hit that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, and still, like you said, still out there cranking stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lots of cool stuff to be had.
Does Tom still do knives, though?
Because
I think that's iffy.
I don't know if he does or not.
I haven't seen knives from him in a long time.
Long time.
Well, what you got, Tom?
Good call, Michael.
Thanks, man.
So I went with another production piece. I went with the original Leatherman pocket survival tool. And this is a tool that basically changed an industry, or created an industry.
Yeah.
And the history of it's pretty cool. So the maker, Timothy S. Leatherman, basically they were on vacation in Europe and the Middle East, him and his wife. And he was using a pocket knife and trying to repair their Italian Fiat 600 and the leaky hotel plumbing. And so he actually came up with the Mr. Crunch prototype, got it patented in 1980, and then released it, the pocket survival tool, in 1983. That first year, 1984, they sold 30,000 of them.
Damn.
That's insane. Obviously, there was a market that was in need. There was a niche there that wasn't being filled. And it's like, if you look at the pocket tool industry now, it's crazy. It's like, Gerber, Swiss Army, SOG, there's 10 million knockoffs. Leatherman has probably 30 different tools, and they've gotten so good. I had one of the original ones. I think I bought mine in 86 or 7, maybe. I don't know, somewhere in there I had one. And I quickly, when they came out with the super tool in 91, I got one of those, and I carried a couple of those ones at the bottom of the White River. They don't float. And I still carry one I carry one in my back left pocket. I carry the Leatherman Free P4. And it's just, this is the product that launched an entire industry, and it's really cool. So I would definitely check out Leatherman. I've always preferred Leatherman over everything else. And I've got Gerbers, and the Gerbers are kind of fun because you can like flick your wrist and shoot the pliers out the handle. But for me, Leatherman's always been the pinnacle of the pocket tools. And yeah, I think if you don't have one, you should have one. If you shoot, you should have one in your range bag or on you. They're really handy. I've done a lot of weird stuff with mine over the years.
Now, are you going to show a picture of the ones you're playing with right now? Because we can hear it.
It's the Leatherman Free P4. And I found a place in China, I think, that makes little bolt-on, like thumb stud type things. You can see it like the anodized red and silver.
We've come full circle.
And it really, those make a huge difference opening. I've also, you'll like this, Michael, I've replaced the secondary blade, which is a Tanto blade.
Mm-hmm. Spyderco blade.
So I replaced it with a fishing blade.
Oh.
So you can like take the hooks out and scale if you want, or all that stuff. So the secondary blade was like a weird Tanto serrated thing that I didn't really like. So I pulled it out and put that in.
I don't know if I've ever opened up any other blade except for the main blade on any sort of multi-tool.
Really?
I don't think I ever really use them. It's usually the pliers and the main blade.
Yeah.
So I don't hardly ever use the main blade because I've always got another knife. I use the screwdrivers all the time. But
I've only got one in a fishing bag too. I don't carry one.
Oh yeah. I carry this in my back pocket every day. The scissors are pretty handy too, but the scissors on the Leatherman they're like child scissors, like for kindergarten with the blunt tips. So I need to grind these down. I ground the other. I've got two of these. I lost one, and the way to find anything is to buy another one.
Right.
It's been my experience, so I just plan on having two of everything eventually. But the other one I carry, I did grind the scissors down already, but I need to do that on these.
Now, and you said Mr. Crunch. Was that the name of his first folding plier?
That was the name of his first prototype.
Okay.
So he perfected Mr. Crunch, and then he got the patent. And that was in 1980. And then in 83, he introduced the pocket survival tool. And in 84, he sold 30,000 of them.
Okay. Yeah, that's good name change.
Yeah.
Mr. Crunch sounds like one of Tom's show snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Sounds like the cereal you get in a bag.
By the end
Right.
of 2001, so this is interesting. This is 20 plus years ago. He had sales of $100 million annually and had sold more than 20 million tools.
Wow.
Ooh,
That's insane.
I know
That's
my dad's had a few.
pretty insane.
The first one I had when I moved back to Arkansas in 92, I think. It started to rain really bad, and I was in Nashville somewhere. I pulled under a overpass, put a tarp on, tied it all down, put my knife on the bumper to do something, and drove off. Left it there.
Oh,
That one disappeared. I've lost a few of them over the years,
yeah.
but
Tom, these attachments, they're like the one-arm bandit of the Leatherman world.
yeah,
Nice.
they are. These work really good. They go, so there's a little oval slot in the blade normally, and these just screw in from the back. So there's two screws, one in each corner.
I got you.
If you don't have a Leatherman, you should get one. Highly recommend it. And they've got all different sizes and tools and price points. And
Yeah, I'm a Leatherman charge guy. When I'm teaching at the school, always got a charge on my belt. It comes in stupid handy.
they're so handy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. So that's my choice. Knife that I feel changed the industry as we know it.
Certainly formative.
Mm-hmm.
That's it for round 2. We got any backups for round 2?
Ooh, I do.
Oh, yes, Mr. Birch.
This one was kind of, I went back and forth between the Tom Anderson and this, I'm trying to send the same link, and a Howard Veely
Oh, yeah.
piece. Kind of hit, it's called a Juggernaut, and it kind of hit the same sort of era, time frame for me. That group of makers that were starting to color outside the lines of the traditional lockbacks. They were doing a lot more interesting, frame locks with weird, different, hole patterns and overlays, and not even traditional like liner locks. They were getting a little funky with it. And I really, they're cool to see. Because I think these help shape us where we are now.
Definitely.
I like the tiny splash of anno on the thumb stud.
Mm-hmm. A little touch of the color, and man, he's you see his fingerprint all over the place with the Spyderco stuff, CRKT. He's got pieces all over the place. He did that compression lock with Spyderco. He did, I think, 2 or 3 pieces with CRKT, maybe more. Quite a few things out there. So yeah, I thought that was a solid backup.
Nice. One of the things that I really like to do, and it's weird, but I'll go on like Nordic Knives where you can search by maker.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing on Arizona. I do the same thing, and I'll pull them both up, and I'll just go down the rabbit hole on a specific maker. Just look at all the different stuff they do, and I can entertain myself for hours like that.
Oh yeah, I used to hit Knife Art back in the day because they had a very extensive, and I would just click on each name and just go down the list. Just be like, hey, what's this guy doing? You're like, oh shit.
Yeah, there's always a bunch of complaining about dealers, and there's certainly plenty of bad dealer behavior to go around. But I have to say, websites of dealers where they've kept these sold pieces in what basically amounts to a huge online archive, like Arizona, right? Where you can go find a maker like this, and there are pages after pages after pages of pieces that have come through their shops, and they're ultimately like fantastic collections of photos and information, and and Arizona does a nice job of having write-ups for each maker, and sometimes there's really interesting history behind a specific knife on their website, and I think I don't know, maybe that's an underappreciated thing. Just the fact that all that's out there still.
You will never hear me complain about dealers. They have a place. A lot of them are friends of mine. They do something that is needed and necessary in the industry, or they wouldn't still be around.
Yeah, dude, but not all are created equal. Period.
Obviously.
That's true.
And I mean, when dealers are great, they are fucking great. But it seems like when they're awful, they are just fucking awful.
That's people in general.
In general, yeah.
That's kind of hit everybody there.
Fucking people.
Some real dick bags out there.
Yeah, I'm one of them. I should know.
We know. We were talking about earlier.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I got a theme going there.
Yep.
You tell for sure.
Yeah, it's a solid theme.
Cool.
It's a solid theme.
Definitely a rabbit hole worth going down. I mean, if our listeners who don't know Howard's work start going down it, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, this guy has influenced 90% of the makers that I like.
Yeah, you'll
and
recognize.
I didn't even know it.
It's Viele.
Yeah, these are pieces that are older pieces that, like you said, Michael, people are going to see visual cues and go, oh.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I recognize that.
Yep.
And dude, his aesthetic still stands up. It still holds up. And his knives were like slim and light and really fucking carryable.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. An era when it was like a lot of big stuff. Everything was getting bigger.
Yeah. Excess for the sake of excess sometimes.
Yeah. The same goes for that Mohawk. I mean, you could see someone building that today. They'd switch the clip to the side and have to be, a sculpted clip, but it would very much translate into a modern folder.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I mean, I think each of these and probably another round of them to come from Michael that are these iconic names, right, for people who, like me, like everybody else, came to this through production stuff and then nicer production stuff. And when you start digging into, like you said, Spyderco, Benchmade, right, any of the big company catalogs, these designs look awfully familiar because they built them, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had deals for all of these, or CRKT with Carson and so many others, right? So it's pretty cool to look at some of the custom pieces that, these names that I came to know through production collab deals, right? Seeing the custom versions of all these different pieces, which is really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, his funky compression one was called the Phoenix from Spyderco.
Oh, yeah, with the ball lock.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Is that a compression lock? No.
So and I think Tom sent us the obit for Howard, right?
Yeah.
2019.
Mm-hmm.
Self-employed custom knife maker for over 40 years. It's a pretty solid haul.
Oh, yeah.
Black belt.
Yeah. All right. So my backup pick in this vintage category is kind of a twist thing. Because I think for lots of people, they think about Phil Bogaczewski and his designs, again, iconic designs like the Cobra, right? Or the Spike. He had some production collab deals for some of those patterns, and knives like the Cobra to me are just cornerstone tacticals in the big picture. And the one I sent to the guys as one of my backup picks is a piece that is a good reminder about some crazy art knife type stuff that he did. And so this one is a front flipper dagger that's super heavily file worked, Damascus bolsters on both ends, sort of a shell carving into the rear bolster, and some crazy looking black lip type stuff or power shell.
It's got to be either, I think that's got to be that Powa or whatever it's called. It's real
colorful stuff.
Funky.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it says in the thing. And this is another good size knife, 4 3/4 blade, 10.5 open.
Oh,
Yeah.
So that's a big one.
Yeah. I mean, that's a legit pocket dagger.
Yes. So super slim in every direction, and such a cool piece. It's interesting, the link that I found this at, there were 2 examples there, and this is Michael Donato's website, Knife Purveyor. And it's always weird to me, this website, because the stuff comes up and there's really cool pieces, and all the pictures on my screen anyway, at least with my browser, are blurry.
Same here, man.
And there's like a magnifier window that doesn't actually magnify, but it somehow clears the picture. And if you click on it, then you get a nice, beautiful picture. But yeah, it's very odd the way he's got the website configured. So, but another dealer, right, who's been in this a long time and has an extensive, if you go to the knife maker section of his website, you can dig down in here with some very, very extensive classic names of makers, right? And pull up some really outstanding pieces.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was looking through some of the Bogaczewski's pieces today because I'm just going through all the books and magazines and stuff, and you can't help but just be like, "Oh, should I? Should I?" There was a lot of. It was more like there's too many pieces that you want to pick.
Right, for sure.
We've actually been texting back and forth today, Michael and I.
Yeah.
I asked him at Blade to be on the lookout for some Rod Chappell knives for me, and he had somebody reach out with a collection, and so I'm trying to figure out what I want and what I'm willing to pay.
Oh.
Best of luck, man. I know
Talking
how
about
you've been.
me, and I was like, "What?"
No, Donato.
I got you.
But yeah, they've got like 5 really nice pieces. So yeah. Gotta figure out how much ramen I want to eat. I'd like to have them all, but I don't know if I can swing that.
Yeah. Well,
They've got a really cool, I think it's like the Arctic Fox he did.
yeah.
One of the smaller belt knives. It's really curvy and crazy.
Very cool.
So we'll see.
Well, send me a couple pictures. Maybe we can team up and
Oh, yeah.
buy it as a lot.
Heck yeah.
Get a decent deal if we take
Yeah.
them all.
Don't let us down.
Yeah, Tom.
Sorry, train's going by. You talk crap about me and I can't even answer.
Michael just said, "Don't be a loser, buy them." That's basically where he was going.
I'm trying not to be, but I also have to. I'm trying to be more responsible. Not working out so good for me, but
Slightly more responsible.
that's probably more where I'm going to be.
Yeah. Only slightly more responsible. I think these Phil Boguszewski's pieces are another underappreciated category in the market.
Yeah.
Right? I think these are undervalued.
The
Definitely.
non-flipper ones, or just in general?
Just in general.
Yeah, there for a bit they hit pretty hard. But yeah, they've calmed down. Kind of like the Kit Carsons. I was very surprised about modern pricing on those.
Yeah.
You remember the first USN shows? Phil would be there, and his knives were awesome.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Maybe just feel like I couldn't make shit for nothing. Nice guy though.
Yeah. Nice guy. His wife was always very sweet. Yep. Nice people. I think, I wonder if some of that, Michael, is the whole speculative stuff when a maker passes, right? Where there's like a big bump in there.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I believe so. But he'd also started getting into, he'd obviously been around for a very long time, but
Yeah.
he got pretty hot into that tactical, big air quotes there, market.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty hot and heavy with the collectors. So
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, like on Donato's site, how many does he have here? Like 15, 18, maybe 20 Boguszewski
probably.
pieces, and most
28.
28. Is that what it is?
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
damn.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are sold.
Roll to the bottom. It says how many there are.
Yeah, there's 28, but
Yeah.
5 of them say sale pending. So
Yeah.
but still north of 20. And there's some cool pieces in here.
Yeah, just for prices that, we, like we've said before, that we can pay for modern pocket fodder,
Right?
I hate to say it like that, but sometimes it feels that way.
Yeah.
But damn, sweet ass mother of pearl piece, and just actually the custom 10-piece black lip, I was just looking at that one today too.
Yeah.
In one of the books.
Nice.
Anyway,
I think I found the bargain at the end of this list. Boguszewski custom Black Micarta Spike #1 lockback, $9.95.
damn.
How cool is that? A 1 numbered bogey for $1,000.
Shit, they've got the one that's on Knives 91, the cover of Knives 91 on there.
Is that right?
The anodized titanium with rubbed inserts, rubber inserts.
Yeah. Yeah,
Scroll-
that's really, really cool.
Scroll up from there, and that custom Black Micarta duck liner lock front flipper is pretty cool for 13.
Yeah, that's super cool. Super, super cool. Time to shop before the episode comes out.
I'm going to be broke.
Yes, but you're going to be chapel rich.
Maybe.
All right, so are we at round 3? Is that where we're at?
Round 3, yes, sir.
Yes.
All right, the grand finale. Sean, you're up, man.
My third pick is maker Harumi Hirayama. And I've sent pictures to the guys. The first picture, she's really known for her inlay work. And man, I cannot oversell how intricate and awesome her inlay work is.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first set of pictures I sent the guys, it's a fixed blade knife. And man, I'm not sure what the handle material is. Maybe ebony. It's a dark black material. And then it's carved to have ripples in it. And then there is a koi fish inlaid into it that kind of is darting in and out of the rippled effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It is wild.
And just exquisite. I mean, and then you've got little inlays that are like bubbles in the water.
Right.
It also looks like it goes from the top of the handle and it curves down around.
Yeah, it wraps around.
Yeah, it's not on one side. The whole carving kind of wraps all the way around, it looks like. Which is crazy.
Well, and I think that's a view below the fish and above the fish. That's what it looks like to me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, if you look at the other side.
Yep.
And then the second picture I sent is it's a picture of the artist herself along with a very similarly themed folding knife.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's in her book. I think I've got that.
Wow.
And then, I mean, the carp inlay on that one is even more intricate because it's a white with red blotch carp, and the red blotches are inlaid also.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, I mean, you have the ripple effect, you have the fish coming in and out of the ripple, then you have the actual inlays of the, splotches of color on the fish.
Mm-hmm. And it matches the knife too, the organic flow. And
yeah. Well, I mean, the rippling runs into the bolster, and the little inlaid dots to represent bubbles run into the bolster also, and everything's just perfect and exquisite.
yeah.
One of the details I really like is that, especially on that second knife, maybe less so on the first knife. I guess it does something similar. On that second knife, I love how the bubbles are, some of them stand proud, and some are flush, and some are recessed, just to give it more dimension. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. With the first knife, it looks like she has a display piece that the knife sits in, and it looks like it has bubbles in it too.
It most certainly does.
Yeah.
And it's carved on one end to have the kind of ripple effect, like water kind of washing up and swirling.
Yeah.
Such
And
cool
then
pieces, man.
Yeah, and then of course the last set of pictures I sent the guys are some of my favorites by her, because anybody who knows me knows I'm a cat person, and these are her kitty cat knives. And these
That
are
Space Kitty is awesome.
just little gorgeous inlaid kitties on the handles of these folding knives, and there is so much color and depth, and I mean, really, you have to see pictures of them. I can't do them justice verbally. I can't.
No, it's wild. Yeah, I don't know. They're almost cartoonish, almost surrealistic, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Little planets, little dog in one, just mixed and flowing, and it's great. That is a great pick, man.
Yeah.
And dude, I read somewhere that she doesn't use power tools.
Yeah.
I read it on the internet, so take that as the caveat.
Interesting.
But I read that she does not use power tools.
Maybe not.
Wow.
There's a lot you can do with time and skill.
The little bit of background I could find is she was born in Tokyo and attended Tama Art University, where her graduate thesis was about a unique set of kitchen knives.
Really?
Yeah, and that's the little bit I've been able to find about her that I view as a credible source.
That's very cool, man.
Yeah, and let me
Yeah.
spell her name so the folks at home can play along. It is HARUMI And if you search her name and then knife, you'll come up with some really, really cool stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, this stuff is different and interesting in part to me because the shapes are, like Michael said, they're super organic. They feel feminine to me, right? Just because of the bends and curves and whatever. But boy, are they cool.
Yeah, dude, all the lines are very soft.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, this isn't tactical knifery. It's not some macho, chest puffy bullshit. This is true fucking art at its finest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really cool. What's this you sent us, Tom?
I'm trying to find a copy of the book that's available, but I bought that book from Nordic, I think. I've got her book. It's really cool.
Nice.
But I can't find it anywhere else.
Huh.
Like
Have you tried DeBay?
I've been Google searching, but yeah.
Interesting. So it's like a showcase of her work kind of stuff?
Mm-hmm. It's a really good book. It's really
Nice.
cool.
How big is the book? Like, how thick is it?
Probably 3/4 if I remember right.
Wow.
It's like a coffee table type book.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's
I mean,
really
it looks like your typical Asian coffee table book of knife art, which is to say it would be fantastically well done.
Right. Yeah, the images look beautiful just from the cover.
Yeah, it is.
Actually, that cover knife is the carp knife that I was talking about. So yeah, like Tom said, it pictures in the book he has.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And once again, on the off side of the folder, it's the underside of the fish.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, I just love her work. I mean, every time I see it.
It seems like she's been awesome for a long time because I can remember like in the 90s, I feel like I was seeing her work and being inspired by it.
Yeah, I read a thing. She has been a member of the Knife Makers Guild since '85.
Wow. There you go.
Abe Books doesn't have it either.
Yeah.
Shit.
We're going to have to prowl that one. We'll find it.
Find one.
We always do.
I got some crazy books, man.
Yeah. Excellent pick, Sean. I like it.
Thank you.
Something different.
Very cool.
All right. So my last pick is the shout out category. So I'm going to share this one. And this maker is someone who was one of our very first patrons on Patreon,
Oh.
Matthew Beauvais. And Matthew, I think it's safe to say that he has been on what I personally consider a very speedy knife making journey.
Yeah, no shit, dude.
Right? I mean, he has been doing all the stuff we talk about, right? Seeking out makers to go study with or take a class with or whatever. And by all appearances, absolutely woodshedding his brains out on making knives and making some really, really cool stuff and has progressed massively, right? Safe to say.
Dude, I've really enjoyed watching him evolve.
Yeah. And so the one that I shared with the guys as my shout out pick is a piece that Matthew did that's got like a spirograph pattern Damascus that apparently they started at a class that he did with Salem Straub. So like I said, he's hitting the right people to go learn from.
Hell yeah.
And box elder burl handle, domed pin. It's just such a pretty knife and a great shape with some, I don't know, totally outstanding Damascus. Just beautiful.
Yeah. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah.
Some of his Damascus stuff he's been doing is pretty killer.
Dude, and that knife just looks sharp as fuck. I mean, it looks so thin and usable.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That pattern, though, that is gorgeous.
Isn't it? It's almost like lace. It's almost what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
The finish on it is crazy.
Yeah. So, well done, Matthew.
Yeah, man.
Matthew's been hanging with us for a long time and doing some outstanding work. So I wanted to make sure to point out some super, super cool shit that he has done here lately. Fun piece.
Yeah, great choice there.
Yeah, well-deserved shout-out.
Yeah.
Kind of scrolling through his feed right now. Pretty cool. He's got a lot of cool stuff on there.
He does. And he's like running at it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Gotta love that. All right.
Nice pick. Nice pick.
Michael, how about you? Last pick.
Koji Hara.
Kojihara.
His mainly his air step handles. These are kind of, for those that don't know what I'm talking about, he would do these handles that are almost like a topographical map.
Yep.
Layers down to it. And for me, when I first saw some of his work, I was like, oh, you can have a working, not tactical, but gentleman's type of folder that, could have these textures and layers and stuff like that really kind of, I enjoy seeing. It was different. It was thinking outside the box, and I think they're just cool as shit. He continued to do really cool stuff, but early on, these knives just kind of really struck me. I love seeing them.
Yeah, dude, the one you sent the picture of, it's the epitome of a gent's knife, in my
Mhm.
opinion.
Yeah,
And hidden hardware, nice.
yeah. A little bit of a mother of pearl inlay right in the middle of it. Just everything you need and nothing you don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
beautiful.
normally I'm not a pearl guy, but the way he integrated that into the handle stepping is perfect. It's exquisite.
Yeah. Yeah, I like makers that play with textures and depth and things like that, and he does that quite a bit. It makes me happy.
Very cool.
I can't tell, is the thumb stud inlaid with pearl?
I don't know.
I do believe so. If you do the little zoom on the photo,
It looks like it could be.
yep. Looks like it's got a pearl dot on the end, or it covers the end of it.
Cowrie
Shit,
Y
listen to the
stainless.
blade description. Mirror polished Cowrie Y
Yeah.
at 67 RC.
Shoo!
Woo. Still, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Cowrie Y, Cowrie X, there was some Damascus that was used here in the last few years with that stuff as a core, right? A Sanmaya?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Been trying to track that down for a while.
Yeah. Nice piece, Michael.
Thanks, man.
So,
I
yeah,
definitely
very-
had a theme.
So I wonder how he does that step pattern. Do you think that it's just completely hand with a little carving tool, or do you think there's like a step, you know what I mean, and then just kind of carving that shape? I'm thinking I'm almost like a pantograph thing, right, where like you would raise the one end and it takes it up a certain amount on the other end, and then just go carve your shape.
Well,
Not tracing anything, just creating the step.
It almost feels like it's done on a mill.
Yeah.
I've wondered if it was etched in the past, but it says it's, because I was wondering if like you did a layer, etched again, left it, you know what I mean? But it says it's
They're
4
pretty significant depth, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it has to be, I don't know. I really don't know. I think going wild on a pantograph is probably your best, probably the easiest way to do it, I would think, but who knows?
Tom, you were thinking maybe you set the mill with the tool running and then you basically just walk it
Yeah.
around.
Hand crank it
Yeah.
like those little red things you used to draw on. Etch a sketch.
Sketch style?
Oh, yeah, maybe
Could be.
with a small tool. I don't know.
Yeah.
Huh.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really neat piece.
Piece that stuck with me for a while.
I'm
Very
looking.
cool.
I'm looking for Michael's next blade at 67.
Hard pass. See what I did there?
Yeah, that's like literally a hard pass.
Come on now. Yeah.
I was trying to get some staples out, and
Right. All right, Tom, what you got for your last pick?
So one of the things that I think really changed the industry was the Speed Safe by Ken Onion.
Yep.
I feel that, I mean, it was just one of those things that really changed everything, you know, and the Kershaw Random Task was the first.
Oh, is it really?
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
That's the first knife that Ken Onion submitted to Kershaw for the Speed Safe. And it's a cool piece. It's, you know, polished G10. It had, I believe they had 440V blades. They were pretty cool. You know, the one that everybody's going to know is like the Leak and the Chive, because 10 million of those have been sold. Trying to think what was one I liked. The Blur, I think, was my favorite Ken Onion design. What's that?
That was a good one.
Yeah, I had probably 8 of those at one time. I think my kids got most of them, but those were, you could get them in decent steel and they weren't expensive, and I just really liked those at the time. I actually carried one the other day, but that Speed Safe changed the industry. Yep. Literally, so many knives have assisted opening in them now. So the Random Task is one most people don't know, and you know, it's a piece of history. So I went with that.
That's a good choice. It was that weird time when the flipper stuff wasn't done.
It wasn't dialed in.
The productions just didn't do it. So you'd be like, and it was odd because like you'd be like, the customers would say, well, that, you know, it's not a production because it flips good or whatever. It pops,
you know, it's
open.
not a custom.
Yeah, it's really kind of crazy. And that's kind of flipped around.
Yeah. It seems like, you know, the flippers are pretty dialed in, you know, now. There were some that weren't at the beginning, but now it seems like everybody's pretty much got that dialed in pretty well.
Oh, yeah. It was, I mean, there was quite a time. I don't know why. You know, it's just basically a detent where it sets, but man, there for quite a while it was like they just didn't want to do them hard. They didn't, I don't know.
I don't think they really had it dialed in on what you had to do. And, you know, during this time period, like now, autos are legal in a lot of places. So a lot of people have autos.
Mm-hmm.
And with the Speed Safe, it was like, ooh, it's almost an auto, and you felt like you were getting away with something, and it actually worked, and it was fast, and it was just different and cool. And
oh yeah, man, they were fun.
Ken sold a bajillion of them through Kershaw, and you know, props to him, man.
Oh, dude, I wanted one of the Random Tasks so bad when they came out.
They were really cool, man. They really were, but they weren't.
They still
inexpensive. They were like $200, I think, when they came out, or maybe a little more.
Yeah, that's why I never got one. I was investing in learning, you know, not in buying knives, but destroying steel to learn how to make them.
I don't think it's a Random Task. I can't remember which one it is. It's more of a regular blade, but it's that era, and I bought one, I don't know, 5 years ago. Because I wanted one, and then the Speed Safe broke, so now it just sits in the drawer and doesn't do anything. But super cool knives.
Yeah,
I need to actually pull like a Leak apart and see if it's the same torsion bar. Because I would 100% scrap a Leak or a Chive or something for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, dude, they'll send you a free torsion bar.
Really?
Yeah, if you get on Kershaw's website, they have a list of parts they'll just straight up send you, period.
I'll do that.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, I just got my dad a new spring for his Leak last week.
Dude, the Leak was such a great design.
Hell yeah.
You say was, I say is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not a new design, but it was, when it came out, it was like, ooh, a Warney and Speed Safe, and it's like $30, and it's pretty decent steel, and that was a home run.
Well, it was more like who didn't have one. I mean, that's how popular it was.
Everybody had one.
Yeah. Non-knife people had them.
Oh yeah, and they thought it was cool.
Yeah.
They clip them on the outside of their pocket and be like,
Yeah, another one of those that brought a lot of people in.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, that's a knife I used to buy and give people, right? When they would ask about knives or whatever. It's like, oh, do you have one? No? Oh, well, here you go. Gateway knife.
I did that today.
Did you?
Not with a leak, but yeah, I gifted it. I do that every once in a while. It's kind of fun because it's like, there's some pretty decent knives you can be had for like $30 or $40, and
Heck yeah.
makes you feel good.
Yeah.
Who'd you give it to?
Russ Huffstedler. So when I worked at AG Russell, he worked there, and he quit about the same time I did. And I hadn't seen him in probably 15 years, and he randomly showed up at the shop, and we spent a couple hours just chatting, showing him the shop and stuff. And yeah, I was like, check this out. And he's like, that's cool. I'm like, you can have it. So
That's awesome.
There's a little
cool.
Tom out there doing good guy stuff.
I'm the great enabler. You don't ask me if you don't want to buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the truth. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Great one, man.
Yep.
Yep.
Excellent pick. Excellent picks all around, fellas.
that was fun.
Oh.
How are we on time?
We're getting wrapping up here. I did have a backup. I don't know if you guys had backups for this third one, but
Of course.
this is my other shout out that I wanted to make. So I sent you guys the link. This is a Polish maker that I know Sean knows about because I think Sean follows him too. And maybe I wouldn't be surprised if Tom follows this guy too. Kamil Dlugosz. He's doing what, by all appearances, is some super clean work, and I really like some of these designs. The one I sent is one that I really, really, really like, just because I'm a sucker for that little recurvy thing going on. So the one I sent the guys is what looks like a decent sized fighter. I don't know how long that is. What do you think based on the handle? 6 or 7?
I was going to say 5.5 to 6.5.
Yeah.
Depending. I mean, that's...
Just a guess, right?
Yeah. Am I the only one getting a real cool old school vibe off that, though?
Yeah.
Like in the best possible way?
Does it kind of feel Polkowski a little bit, maybe?
Dude, I can see
I don't
where
know,
you're
bud.
coming from with that and just the simplicity of the thing.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. He's got a bunch of interesting styles in here. Some feel on the familiar side. Some are what I personally tend to think of as like that hyper clean Euro aesthetic. And some that are like that one where it's like, oh, right? Like there's the shape that I really, really like. And so, yeah, I think I'm ordering a knife from him.
Oof. Check. Let me, I got to get a link here. You got to check out this.
Oh,
Some of these kind of have a kind of Pirelli.
yeah.
Pirella.
Yep. That's
I can
fair.
see that.
That's a fair statement. Yep.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
The ephemera.
Yeah, I like that too.
Mm-hmm.
I like the jigged G10. Me and Ben were just talking about that like literally yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big old sexy one.
Yeah. He's doing some cool stuff.
Javelin is badass. Let me see if I can find a...
He did some pretty cool daggers.
Yes, he did.
They're pretty sharp.
Yeah, just real clean, real straightforward dagger work.
Yeah. Which, like, deceivingly straightforward. Like, making that shit that clean is like, ooh. And so I looked, I don't know if it was here on his Instagram. About a year ago, he made a post that had a picture of him in it. That is, he says, I almost never post pictures of myself. I started making knives as a hobby in 2011. 3 years later, I went full time, so 2014. And as of, I don't know, a year and a half ago, he had made 860 knives.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So he's out there working. Folders, fixed blades, nice lineup of stuff.
Damn.
Yeah.
So
Super talented.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, absolutely. We'll see. We'll get one coming here. Sounds like he's taking work, which is awesome. So check him out. If you want to see Camille's knives, he is at KD Knives. All one word on Instagram. K like kite, D like David Knives. Or K like Camille, or D like Dlugosz Knives. Another international maker doing some cool stuff. Check them out. All right. You guys have any backups? I know I heard somebody saying they had a backup out there.
I do.
Okay.
So this is a maker that I've mentioned already. But
Another Crine retread.
yeah. So his name is Thomas Rucker. But I put a link to his Facebook page there, and I ordered something, and I'm just gonna share a picture, but come on, get to where I need
Picture
to be.
as it went into the boat, or a picture that you have it? We talked about him a long time ago.
So it hasn't shipped yet, but I've got 2 pieces coming from him.
Ooh.
The first is really cool.
Well, that
This is a hollow handled knife that he's doing. Something brand new, and they are really cool. I've actually got to do a bank transfer tomorrow, but the hollow handle version is called the TRSSK.
Okay.
And then I've also got a full tang Bowie coming that's pretty cool to match my little Puko.
Yeah.
But the hollow handled knives are really cool. If you go to that link, follow it to his home, like his Facebook page, and you scroll down, he's got like he made himself one, and he showed himself using it, and there's videos of him putting it on a pole and using it as a spear and all sorts of stuff.
Wow.
So pretty strong. I was like, hey, you gonna make any of those for customers? And he's like, sure. I'm like, sign me up.
Yeah, man.
I love hollow handled knives ever since, First Blood. So
What's going on with the handle on that one, man? Is that
So it's-
does it got
it's like
wet molded leather?
So it's like a pipe, and then it's got I think that's like jute string that's soaked in epoxy resin that's wrapped around it
Okay.
real tight.
Really?
All right.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. And I think it's just soaked in epoxy, and he's got stuff under it that it's wrapped over to make it have some texture and stuff.
Oh, to add those ribs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I can't wait. I think that I've not been this excited about a knife for a while. It's relatively big also. So
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Nice.
That's awesome, man.
Now that bottom one, I like the flow of quite a bit.
Yeah.
His big knives just really flow. That is that's a good sized knife, and it really the lines are really cool and curvy. And I got it to match the Puko that I got, so I'll have a set now.
Right.
So yeah, check out his work. It's really clean. I think it's very reasonable, and he's been a pleasure to work with. So yeah, shout out.
So what is going on there? Is it like a straight Hamon, or is it okay, I wasn't sure if it was a Sanmai or something else that was etched or something.
It's a steel.
Oh, one?
No, it's a steel that we can't get. I can maybe figure out what it is. It's something. It's the same one that
Jan Hafnick uses.
Jan uses, and it's not available here in the States. But it
Gost 100 or something like that.
yeah, something crazy like that. But it makes an awesome Hamon.
I really like the hollow handle. That's neat.
Yeah, I can't wait. That's one of the more innovative things I've seen in a while.
It's very Tom.
Right?
You know what you need is like a little super patinaed copper compass to put in there.
Ooh, that'd be
That'd
cool.
be cool.
Wouldn't that be nice? It'd suit that piece perfectly.
Yeah, it
like
feels very rustic, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's built like a brick shit house. I think it's stout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us know. I'm sure you will share pictures when you have it.
Oh, yeah. It'll go in my hollow handle collection. I just need to get some Jimmy Lyle stuff.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I like that big kukri that he did too.
The little sheep's foot Bowie cleaver things are really cool too.
Yeah.
That may be one of the next ones I order. I don't know.
What, Michael or Sean, either you guys got a last one you want to throw in here before we wrap her up?
I've got one, and I can't remember if I talked about it before. Have I talked about the Chris Reeve Lock 45 before?
I don't remember.
No, I don't think so.
I'll take that. I'll take that as a no then.
Yeah.
So early on, it was they're messing around with some different locks, and it's basically the whole back handle is the lock bar. You push that whole thing back to disengage. And man, that would be pretty wild. And I don't know how many pieces were ever done with that, but it's a funky piece. And it's just, it's cool to see.
Yeah, and kind of a mashup of ideas there.
Mm-hmm. You can see what they're trying and testing and innovating and seeing what works and what doesn't.
So the pivot is big enough that it acts as like the front of the scale.
Uh-huh. But it's got to stabilize that whole blade.
Yeah.
Huh.
That part kind of reminds me of the Ed Halligan, the Kiss knives.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Wonder how stiff that lock was.
So up above it, that's the other side of it.
Yep, show side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Yeah. Funky piece of history there.
Yeah. There have been a few knives like that, right? Where not this same lock style necessarily, but where the blade basically comes back on one side of a slab.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure which model it is, but Dozier makes one that has no stop pin. Have you seen that?
No.
Yeah.
So the lock is on one side. On the other side of the top, it has another lock, basically. So when you open it, that one handle falls off and it's at the top of the blade, and the other one on the other side is at the bottom of the blade, and you release it to lock it, and when you close it, it ramps up the lock on the spine.
Huh.
So yeah, it basically uses two liner locks to lock up the blade.
Yeah. That's kind of like Gus's
That's
dagger.
exactly what I was thinking. The Dewey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where it's like two frame locks.
Yeah.
Did you get one of those?
No. I should have, but no, I did not.
Man, that was so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that is really cool. Neat, Michael.
Nothing new under the sun.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
All right. Well, fellas, that was a fun ride.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Nice picks in there. Wide variety, just like Sean promised.
Mm-hmm. He always does.
All right. Well, I think, again, high five to our friends on Patreon. Thanks to George and to our friends at Giant Mouse for joining up with us. Sounds like they're going to run with us for the long haul, at least out through the rest of the season. So that's awesome. Thank you, fellas.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And as always, thanks to our listeners. We appreciate you guys. We always appreciate the feedback. We get lots of nice discussion every time we have an episode come out in our Facebook group. So if you're not part of that, definitely check it out.
Yeah, don't be shy. I mean, personally, I enjoy the feedback and the talk and the chat in the Facebook group quite a bit. So
As long
keep
as
it
it's
up.
positive.
Yeah.
The negative stuff we don't.
No, not so much that. But the discussions about the knives you want to see are the ones that you think are, for picks and stuff. I love seeing.
Yeah, let's see your 3.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's a good challenge.
And then I'll rip them off for our next pick episode. So you just go do my research for me.
There
Maybe.
you go. There you go. It could happen. It probably would happen, actually.
I ain't too proud.
100%.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody, for listening. We'll talk to you next time.
Later.
Yeah, thanks all.
Thanks, folks.
To learn more about our makers, you can find Tom Crine on the web at crineknives.net, in his Facebook group, Crine Knives, or in his Instagram account, at Crine Knives. For Michael Birch, check birchtreeblades.com, Facebook group Birch Tree Blade Works, or Michael's Instagram at birchtreeblades. For myself and the Raygun Bead Project, we're on the web at raygundivision.com. We have a Facebook group called Raygun Division, or my personal Instagram, at msteiner. For those interested in photos, references from the show, or some discussion about the show itself, you can find us on the web at markofthemaker.com, in a Facebook group called Mark of the Maker, or on our Instagram, at Mark of the Maker. Last but not least, the ultra cool and haunting background music we use for the show is a piece called Noir Guitar by Stevie's Amp Shack, found at the Free Music Archive and licensed under Creative Commons CC BY 4.0. Thanks for listening.